What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another Wednesday night in the fish room. I'm gonna just adjust the lighting for 1 second here as I notice there's some reflections on the tank. Bear with me for 1 sec. And that's much better. Thanks for joining me, everyone. Happy Wednesday, and welcome to another live stream. Today I just thought, why don't we all talk about kind of where we're going in the fish hobby right now? Because I kind of have plans with some things, what I want to do, and then I also have some other ideas of something, well, not so much ideas, some other thoughts of what am I going to do with some of these other things. I've got staring at an empty 90-gallon tank across the room from me right now, and I have some ideas of what I'd like to do with it, but I'm not 100% sure what exactly I'm going to do with it so far. So far we've got a couple people here. We've got Cameron from Learning to Fish Keep. He's here today. Hello, Cameron. He's the usual. Thank you for stopping in. And Damien, first time here for a live stream. Right on. Happy to have you. Thanks for stopping in, man. And we've got Hugh from Prolific Breed. How's it going, Hugh? I saw you earlier on Jeff Rose chat. Thanks for stopping in here tonight. So yeah, I just kind of was thinking, why don't we ask some of you guys what your future plans are for that you have in the fish hobby? Like, are you kind of more in the collecting phase right now, or are you in the breeding phase right now? Are you really into plants? Are you into cichlids right now? Like, kind of what are some short-term things that people are up to? What are some long-term things that people are into? And yeah, just kind of what do you want to do? What type of fish do you want to have? So we've got some people rolling into the chat today. So I didn't really set a live kind of heads up that we're going live because I kind of forgot. But here we are. We got it going. We're live. We're ready to go. And I don't have any red wine near me today to smash. I've been drinking it, so yeah, that should be good. Hopefully we won't have any spills tonight. I've got just a trusty water bottle with me. Okay. Cameron, I'm glad to see that this is your Wednesday night routine. I appreciate you're here every Wednesday, and I thank you very much for that. Giovanni DeSantis, hey, no worries being late. Thanks for stopping in again. Johnny's my cousin, and he's got a 90-gallon tank that we are going to be setting up and doing a video on. And I know he was over the other day looking at the plecos. He likes plecos. He likes clown loaches. So two fish that I really love. So I've got some ideas on things we can do for that. And I had the white sand that I had over in my 90-gallon, which kind of looked very similar to the pool filter sand that I've got in the 220 behind me. So I've decided to change it up. I bought a little bit of sand, black sand, for the 90-gallon, but I might do like kind of mix it in with some small gravel mixed with the sand and kind of see how that looks. But we're gonna go black substrate on that. What type of fish am I gonna put in? I'm not sure yet, but we'll get into that later. K-Town Reefer, what's going on, K-Town? K-Town is Kelowna, which is close to me. I was over on his stream earlier, and I couldn't help but notice that he has got some beautiful clown loaches in his planted tank. Now, I first was attracted to his channel because of his saltwater tank, but he's got a great community tank as well, freshwater. Daniel, appreciate it. Quick hello. Thank you for stopping in. He's always here. And I hope you have a great day over from Australia there. And I would just like to thank Cameron for reminding folks to hit that like button. Appreciate it, Cameron. Oddball Aquatics, she is in the house. Hello there. How are you doing today? Happy to see you. I like seeing that you and your daughter like to fish keep together. I do it with my kids as well. I've got a video coming out this Friday. We went to one of our local fish stores on the weekend, and we got some pretty cool fish. My son has wanted this. Well, I'll tell you one of them. My son has wanted a black betta for a long time, and he got this black orchid betta, which is a little on the pricier side, but he brought his money and he paid half, so it's more than I would spend for a betta, but he really wanted it, and he's wanted it for a long time, so hey, I had to splurge. D's in the house, down the wormhole, fellow Canadian. Hello, D. Thank you for stopping in tonight. We're just kind of chatting on, what are our short-term, long-term plans, and if anyone would like to share, go ahead and share. He was saying that when you say expensive, go ahead and follow that with investment. I use the word investment when I'm trying to breed them, but Ben won't be trying to breed his betta, so it's kind of a pricey thing. That's kind of how I tell my wife with my more expensive plecos that I've been getting. It's an investment. I'm breeding them, and I'm going to try and sell them. I got my auction coming up in less than 2 months, which I'm super psyched for, because to me, a fish auction is like Christmas, and I can't wait. I've got some extra equipment that I might sell as well, and I may sell, I've got some bristlenose fry that I'm gonna sell, some albino, I think. And I'm mostly there to buy though. I'm not really there to sell, but anything I can sell helps offset what I'm about to spend. Oddball Aquatic says she's 3, so sometimes she loves it, and sometimes it makes no more tanks, mommy. Well, that's funny because my daughter is 5, is exactly like that. She's asked to be watched. She would rather not go to the fish auction this year, but Ben is obsessed with it. And Ben's been into it since about he was 5 years old, and he really, really likes it. Fish Keeping Jamaica is just stopping in to say hi. Hello, hello. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for stopping in and saying a quick hello. I appreciate that. Johnny can't stay long, off to work, wanted to see the live show, and he cannot wait for the auction. This is going to be his first auction, and he has got his first tank that we're setting up, so I have warned him it might not be super exciting for him, but like if you're into fish, you're gonna love it. Like, my hair's a nightmare tonight. Anyway, if you're into fish, like the auction, like you get these crazy deals. You get fish that you can't find in fish stores. Amelia's popping in to say hello, and you get crazy plants. I mean, it's so fun. K-Town Reefer, November 17th, if you're down in the Vancouver area, it's in North Vancouver, the VAHS, Vancouver Aquatic Hobbyist Society, it's their group, and they put on the auction, and it is so fun. So if you get a chance, come on down that weekend. Sim Racing 604 has popped in. He would like me to keep up the great content. Well, I appreciate that, Sim Racing 604. And I'd like to give a quick shout out to Abby if she's listening. Hello, Abby, and good night. So, now that I'm at the bottom of the stream, okay, K-Town Reefer says his 11-year-old son has his own 45 bow front. You got him hooked. That's awesome. My best friend has a 45-gallon bow front. That's a great tank. His wife wasn't super happy when she came home from a nursing shift at midnight to find that he had purchased a new tank and it was set up in the living room, or that I had helped him, but it's a great tank. He made it an African cichlid tank. It's really cool. Ben right now has got a 10-gallon tank, which did house a pair of Epistogrammes that we've been trying to breed for a long time, but we rehomed those because he really, really wanted a betta, and I wasn't sure how they would go together. So he's got some Rasboras and his black orchid betta in his room right now. Susie Q Aquatics is in the house. Hello, Susie Q. Thank you for stopping in today. I appreciate that. So Oddball Aquatic. Oh wait. So K-Town Reefer says he got it for Christmas. It was on his wish list. That's awesome. That I got my son his 10-gallon for Christmas because that was on his wish list, and now he wants a 55. He says, but I don't know. We'll see. Oddball Aquatic says, so keeping up with long-term topic, I'm on vacation this week and going to spend some time working on the basement, hoping to get a tank down there in the winter. That's awesome. Like, what size tank are you thinking? And what are you going to put in it? Okay, Adil, hello. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That is a nice tank. And thanks for stopping in. Aquascaping 101, hello from Hawaii. How are you doing today? I hope all is well with you. Aquascaping 101 has put out some pretty sweet videos lately. He's had Jimmy Swisky, also the videographer of Aquarium Co-op, has been in some of his videos lately, and yeah, check him out. Great stuff. Okay, we have got Mr. D's Tanks and More. Mr. D, hello, how are you? AL says evening. Hello. Hey Ben, we were just talking about your Black Orchid betta that you just got. It was Jersey Day at school today, so Ben wore his Aaron Rodgers jersey. Okay, let's go back here. Oddball Aquatics is doing a whole fish room down there. It's an unfinished basement. I know you had some leak problems there too that you needed to take care of. Yeah, learning to keep fish, yeah. Actually, Prolific Breed's got a pretty sweet fish room there too. He's got over 20 tanks in his repertoire. Freshwater, saltwater. He's got a crazy, crazy fish room. Red Dirt Aquatics, hello. Thanks for stopping in tonight, man. How you doing? Good to see you. So I'll just kind of jump into my short-term goal. My short-term goal is I have to get this 90-gallon going again. And I'm hoping that I will have the substrate in it this weekend. By the end of the weekend, I've got a crazy busy weekend and my wife's out of town. So I've got a couple of kids with dance and soccer photos and all that kind of stuff. But I'm going to try, it's also water change weekend. But I am going to try and squeeze in getting some substrate and try and get like at least my 90-gallon filled with water again. And then I got to think about some stocking ideas. Now I was thinking like maybe doing some of the more common South American cichlids. Like we've got some angelfish that need to be rehomed. And we were just over at Rogers Aquatics, which is one of our local fish stores. And I had seen online that they had some panda angelfish, which I'd seen over on Jay Aquafunk's channel. These ones didn't look as great in person, so, and we didn't really have a spot for them right now anyway, but we might steer away from that. We've got some rams that will probably relocate into it, but you don't really want to put German blue rams into a new fish tank. They like to be in a more established old tank for them to do well, so I may wait a little while before I move them in. Might put some Apistogrammies in there as well. I've got the Pistogrammy Cockatoides Super Reds and maybe some cribs. And then I was thinking, well, what kind of plecos am I going to put in there? Well, I've got Super Reds behind me. I've got the regular bristlenose, which in another one, and then I've got albino in the 29-gallon upstairs. And I don't want to mix the type of bristlenose because I don't want them to crossbreed. So I was thinking about maybe getting the L183 Starlight bristlenose, which are super cool. Google the image of the 183 Starlight if you don't know what they are. And they're also called the white seam pleco. So they're black and then they have spots on them, white spots on them with the white tail and fin. They look pretty cool. Although the spots apparently do fade as they get older. But hey, if I get a trio and can breed them, then that would be awesome to keep. Okay, I've kind of gone on for a little while longer here, but I'm going to hop back into the chat. And we are back to Oddball Aquatics. So she says the leak is weird, has a ton of rain this week, so I went down to try and locate the leak and it's bone dry. Super weird. Well, hey, that's good. Maybe it fixed itself. I appreciate that, Adil. Thank you for the nice setup. Getting my dosing pumps up and running again. I like your Bonza Friday Fish Facts. It's gonna look awesome when that moss grows in. Yeah, hopefully it will. I mean, I didn't have very much moss on it to start, and it's slowly but surely expanding. Redris says my favorite is South American cichlids. Yeah. Oh, Severums. Oh, those are cool. Yeah, maybe. And Golden Nut Pleco. Well, I mean, I really shouldn't be giving away my video this week, but I also got a Golden Nugget Pleco. The L18 Golden Nugget Pleco. I just picked that one up on the weekend, and that one's in this tank because this is kind of my mix of cool L numbered Pleco tank. I've got a couple of L66 King Tigers in here, an L128 Blue Phantom, an L129 Colombian Zebra. Now I've got the L18 Gold Nugget, and I've got a trio of Super Reds in there too. But maybe I would move the Gold Nugget over to the 90 gallon. Okay. Hillbilly Wines, hello. Thank you for stopping in, Hillbilly Wines. Actually, tonight, just to let you know, I started off with the port that was not very good from Australia, and then I switched over to a Bordeaux from Riverstone, which is located in Oliver, British Columbia, and that was delicious. It was a 2012, and I had it with Greek food. That's what we get tonight, and it was absolutely delicious. Jay, hello. I have already mentioned you earlier in the stream tonight, Jay, Aquafunk, because I was talking about the panda angelfish that I saw at my local fish store, although these ones were definitely not as sharp as the ones that you had in your video. And I'm going to keep looking, see if I can dig up some of those super red kois. Okay. Also, Jay, Aquafunk, I'm wondering the best way to contact you. If you can throw that up in the chat, I need to chat again. I've got something else that I wanna run past you. I know you're not really on Instagram, so I can't really DM you, but if you get a chance, throw it up there, because I wanna send you a message. Good night, Susie Q. Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate that. Have a good night. East Coast, it's a little late, I realize. West Coast, it's just after 7 o'clock. Okay. Now, sorry, I kind of went off for a little bit here, so let's get back into the chat. And I am a little bit behind, so let's just find out where we were. And we talked about Severums. Hillbilly Wines was here. Aquafunk with Angel Freak was here. And there we go. We are back at the bottom. Aquafunk, I will send you an email because, yeah, I gotta run something past you. And everyone else send Aquafunk some email because I'm sure he would love to sort through that. So I know that we have talked about like some setups that people are wanting to do, and they have run into some trouble because maybe they live in a apartment and they don't have as much space. So they're kind of limited on the different things that they can do right now. But still, like, you know, maybe you have some long-term plans, and maybe you'd want to change up the apartment scene one day and get into the multi-tank syndrome, where you have some bigger tanks, or maybe you're not into the biggie show tanks. Maybe you're more into the rack systems, because I know like a lot of YouTubers are really into the rack systems. So I was watching one of Bob Stefont's live streams not too long ago, and he was saying he's kind of going. There's like three cycles. There's the collecting stage, there's the breeding stage, and then there's the plant stage. And he goes through them over and over and again. Well, I've gone through them pretty recently, but I'm definitely in the collecting stage, but I'm going back into the breeding stage. So that's definitely something I want to get into again. My hi Plecos, I have seen you on several live streams tonight. Hello, what is going on? Now I did have a question for Jeff Rowe earlier today. You weren't on there yet, but I did have a L183 question I was wondering about, and maybe you can help me out. I know what Jeff said, but does an L183 Starlight Pleco have to live in a Blackwater setup, or is it just fine in a community tank? Maybe you can help me out with that. Cameron Learning to Fish Keep is trying to breed some swordtails with his platies. Well, they will crossbreed. Same with mollies. I would assume guppies would crossbreed as well, but I'm not sure about that. But you can crossbreed them. Okay. Let's see where we are in the thing here. So Trevor has said no problem, just fine. A community tank would be just fine for the L183. Well, that's kind of cool because I'm just kind of thinking what type of bristle nose I'm going to put in my 90 gallon, and I think those are the ones that I'm going to do. And all I have to do is figure out a way to get them from Denver into Canada, which is a challenge for me right now. But if I can ever figure that out, I want a trio of 183s, and I want to get see if we can breed them. Matthew Moore Cichlids. Hello, Matt. How's it going, man? Appreciate you stopping in today. And Joe T. Hey, thanks for stopping in, man. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks very much. The tank is still a work in progress. Fish World Cichlids, what's going on? How are you? I appreciate you stopping in and saying hello. Thank you. The tank behind me here, I gotta fill out the back of this tank with Jungle Val, but I went to 2 different fish stores on last weekend, and one doesn't carry it ever, and one was just sold out. But I kind of just want to do that. I want to get some big crinums, and over in the far corner here, there's like right there. That's a narrow leaf crinum. Actually, I got that at Aquarium Co-op. And there is also one fish store that has in their show tank a broadleaf crinum, and it's pretty cool. And I am on the list for next time they trim it to get some, but I want to just do 3 plants in here. I'm actually going to take the Java Fern and the Anubias out of this tank and just go all Jungle Val, crinums, and then I'll leave the Java moss on this tree here. And then once I get the 90 gallon set up again, then I'll move the Anubias and the Java Fern, and I've got a crypt in here too. I'll move that over here and some other things. Because right now upstairs I've got Bulbitis and Hornwort going crazy, like so much so that I'm throwing it in the garbage because you can't even really see anything in the tank. There's so much plants in there right now, and Sawassertang and the moss balls and all that kind of stuff. So I do have some maintenance to go on that, but yeah, so far this one here has been set up for a couple of weeks. This weekend I'll be doing my 3rd water change on this tank, so the plants haven't grown crazy right now. And also all I have is the 1 4-foot light, so I do need to get 2 3-footers to get this thing going. Okay, so let's jump back into the chat here because I have kind of fallen behind a bit. Fish World, oh, here we go. JQ Channel. Hello, JQ Channel. Thank you for stopping in. JQ Channel is a regular drop-in of the chat. I appreciate it. You seem to be here almost every Wednesday, and I really appreciate that. So thank you very much. Cameron learning to fish keep. His long-term goal would be to get a fish room in the next year when he can move out of his apartment. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I'm not really sure where Jay is in this chat, but he is saying, put them in your prison purse. Jakey Channel says, dang, your channel's growing fast. Thanks, man. Aquafunks, Upfish World. Yep, liking the new setup. Thank you very much. Melvin's Aquatic Empire is in the house. Hello, Melvin. How are you doing tonight? Thank you very much for coming in. Jakey Channel's getting his 25-gallon stand tomorrow. That's awesome. Get that thing going. Yeah, the Mac is in the house tonight. K-Town Reefer is wondering if I had to drive down to Aquarium Co-op or did I order from them. I have to drive down. So I've been there once and it was awesome, and I did a video of my tour there, and if you can ever get a chance, go ahead. From Vancouver, it's 2.5 hours, so not too bad. It's worth it if you're a big fish fan. That's where I got a pair of the Epistogramma Cockatoides Super Reds there. I got a pair of Super Red Bristlenose there. I got my Blue Phantom there. I got the 3 freshwater archer fish that are the same ones that are in Corey's 800-gallon in here. And I got a bunch of plants, and that Pleco cave was from Aquarium Co-op. Thanks, Matthew. Matthew says that was a good video. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I did one of the tour and then one of the unboxing of all the stuff that I got when we came back. Okay, we've got a new person in here. Mr. Dabalina. Van City Fish Keeping. Right on, man. I'm in Vancouver as well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay. Melvin, I like how you call me the Friday Fun Fish Facts. I appreciate that. I hope you're having fun, man. Aquafunk says, when I said put them in your prison purse, I was referring to how to sneak the plecos into the country by putting them in a place where prisoners hide their contraband in their bodies. You don't have to go to that extreme to get them into the country. I can get them into the country. I just have to get them shipped from Denver to somewhere near the border where I can just drive down and get it. I can legally transport them back into Canada. I don't need to stuff anything anywhere, especially something that's alive, and try and sneak it into the country. The whole thing is, where can I get it shipped to? There's a place that I get like some stuff shipped to in the States called Ship Happens, but they told me that they won't accept live fish if I get it shipped there. So I gotta like find somebody who lives in Washington State area or something, and then drive down there, get it shipped to their house, and then pick it up, turn around, and bring it back here. I'm sure I will. I'm sure that I will find something like that. I just need to find that person. But yeah, I definitely don't need to hide anything in any prison purse. But thanks for the idea, Jay. Terry Lindsay. Hello, Terry Lindsay. Terry is thinking of re-entering into the hobby in a significant way like you've done in the past. Well, I know Terry has had, I believe, a 65 and a 55 at the same time, as well as maybe a few other smaller tanks at the same time, where he had like five or six tanks going at once. Terry, you should totally do it, because I know Terry's a coworker of mine. He's got 20-gallon long and a 20-gallon regular in his office, and that's what's keeping him going on his fish you know, excitement right now, but he can't even see him on the weekend because they're at his house. So what are you gonna do? You relaxing and watching your fish at nighttime. I mean, I love doing that. I keep them in the same room as a TV, not right, but the TV's that way, so I'm not like running the TV and right by my fish tank. But I can stare at the fish tank for a while, look at the TV for a while. And Terry, like, I think you're gonna be super happy if you make that decision. I realize, like, some of the viewers here, you have trouble finding, you don't have a spot to put like all your tanks, which I totally get that. But if you can work that out, that would be awesome. Okay, let's hop back into the chat here again. Breeding and keeping more difficult species strains is what interests me. Yeah, keeping difficult and rare species is totally cool. Neighborhood Man 321, what is going on, man? Appreciate you stopping in today. Actually, Terry, you see Mahai Plecos is on this chat. If you see, he's the guy that I was talking to you about, because Terry's sister lives in Washington. If we could ever arrange that, then he could maybe send something to Terry's sister's house. We could pick it up and then bring it back here over the weekend. That would be awesome. But yeah, he's got these he's got the leopard frog pleco, but I don't think he's selling them right now because he can't breed them. And but he does have the Starlight L183, and those really intrigue me. A bristlenose that I've never seen this side of the border, so that would be super cool. Those are the ones that I really want to get my hands on. So let's hop back into this. Okay, hey Sean, how are you? Sean just got some Ember Tetras for his 20-gallon. If you love planted aquariums, you absolutely need to check out Sean's channel. I know I say that every week, but the guy's got some crazy planted aquariums. He's got the Monte Carlo plant. He's got one of the most beautiful bettas that you've ever seen. And he's just added some fish to one of his tanks, and his video just came out the other day. But those Ember Tetras look really cool. And I know he mentioned throwing like 200 in this. I actually thought about just doing like 220 rummy nose tetras, which I love how rummy nose tetras school in a tight school, but I really wanted to go with a bunch of clown loaches, which I realize I only have 3 in here right now. But I will slowly grow more, get more, and maybe up to like 7 or something. That's a longer term plan. And I'm just crazy into collecting like all these different types of plecos right now. Matthew says yes, Terry. He agrees. You should definitely do that. See you later, Joe. Thanks for stopping in, man. Terry says, Ron, it appears you've got a real love for plecos. Are you going to breed some of these for profit, these rare plecos? Some of these rare plecos are not as easy to breed as the bristlenose pleco. So I'm not sure, like, there's not too many people that can breed blue phantoms. There's only a few cases of them being documented of people being able to breed them in aquarium, but maybe like I know that like even like the super reds, they're easy to breed. So if I get them going, then they're not too common up here. So I could definitely look into something like that. And then those L183s, like I've never seen them in Canada or in BC at least. So those would be super cool. And the King Tiger Pleco, the L66, I don't think they're super difficult to breed. So mine are too small right now to breed, but I will definitely be trying to breed those once they get a little bit bigger. Okay. What local fish shops in Metro can you recommend? You usually go to King Ed's Pets. My favorite's Rogers Aquatics. That's my favorite local one. But check out BC Aquaria. BC Aquaria, like the deals are insane. You get some crazy rare fish. We have an auction coming up, which is cool. And also, I would say those are my, so I like buying off local breeders because you get crazy fish, crazy rare fish for like crazy good deals. Um, I really like Petland in Port Coquitlam. They have a great like selection, and the first Friday of every month is 2 for 1 fish, up to $15 value of fish. So if the fish costs more than $15, it's not 2 for 1. But fish and plants are all 2 for 1. So those are my favorite ones. And then Fish Addicts has got some a good selection of things as well. Those would be the best, but it's worth making the drive down to Aquarium Co-op. I totally agree. Okay. In my honest opinion, my high plecos has got the goods. I know you do, buddy. I've seen your live stream and I've seen Priscilla's video here. L183 is a painted. Really? Okay. Okay. Neighborhood man 321 is currently cycling a 20-gallon along with 2 dividers for 3 different colored neocardarians. Sometimes it's hard to record what you do because you just want to do it. That's cool. Yeah, I mixed all mine together once and kind of had a Skittles tank. You'll get some clear ones if you do that. I don't recommend that if it's like your long-term goal, but that's a good idea. Okay. Okay. Matthew says it's always cool finding new channels to sub, which I really like on these chats that we're doing. I always see a lot of people subbing to each other. Trevor Mile High Plecos is working on his Blue Phantoms. I have a tanning male, but no eggs yet. 183 is a pain to breed. Really? Okay. Best local pet store in BC. Best local pet store in BC's Lower Mainland really doesn't exist, is what Terry says. Well, I was just at Rogers, Terry, and they had a much better selection than they did the time before. Joe T says, yeah, Matthew, I was behind on my water change today. It was day 8, but my water parameters were good. You know what? On these but the 10-gallon I do every week. The big tanks I do every 2 weeks. Matthew, good night. Thanks for stopping in, man. Jay, appreciate it. The rummy nose would be hot. They would be. Aquarium Cove is the best shop in Washington State. Definitely worth the drive. I agree. 54 Punchy. Pam is in the house. Hello, Pam. I saw you over on Jeffro and on Dan's Fish as well, briefly. I was briefly on there before I popped in here. Appreciate that. 20 watching and 20 likes. Thank you, Aquafunk. Freeman's Aquatics, 19 now. How are you, buddy? Terry Lindsay, how's the Easy Green working for me? Well, I've used it once, and I don't know. I've just used it once in this tank because it was Terry's and I brought it, and I didn't want to use a ton of his expensive Easy Green. So I used it once, and no difference in change from using it once, but I think over a long-term period that it would work better for you. My High Plecos is asking me, what species of plecos do I have? I was just mentioning that earlier. I've had, well, besides like, I have one single regular pleco, bristlenose pleco that I've had, female, that I've had for a long time. It's like one of my original plecos since I got back into the hobby. But she's sticking around. I've got some albino bristlenose, some super reds, the Blue Phantom, the Colombian Zebra, which is a rare one. It's the L129. It only gets like 2.5, 3 inches big. It's super cool, but not very big. I just got this last weekend, I got the Gold Nugget L18 and the L66 King Tiger plecos. I got a few of them, but they're small, but they're super cool. Poor man's pleco. Poor man's pleco because $15. That's a great deal. Okay. We've got studying, gonna listen to a lot on the live stream, but right on. Thanks, man. Steamfod Aquatics, hello, and how are you doing? I was mentioning, Bob, one of your live streams that you had a couple weeks ago, and you had mentioned that you go through 3 stages: collecting, breeding, and plants, and then you kind of rotate through there. I 100% agree with that statement. I've kind of I'm definitely into the back end of the collecting thing, like with all these like crazy plecos that I'm getting, but that's going to just lead me back into the breeding thing. But yeah, and our friend Trevor here is trying to get us to buy some of his L183s, which I'm really having a tough time saying no to. Okay. Freeman Aquatics. For me, it's going to be the biggest tank my wife will let me build. I told her I'll keep the beater car, but the mega tank build is going to be my midlife crisis. All is well. Busy summer I had, you know. I went with the it's easier to beg for forgiveness than ask permission thing with this tank that's right behind me. And it got off to a little bit of a rocky start, but I made some deals and said, because she didn't like the carpet that was in here, so I ripped all the carpet out and put in laminate, and we painted, and now she loves it. And it just took, you know, a couple weeks, but, you know, maybe try that route. Okay. Bob says the L183s are nice. My Pleco says, in my honest opinion, he sold himself. I didn't do anything. And, you know, maybe you'll get those leopard frogs breeding too, and then you can send some of those down too, or send some of those up as well. So I had the Lucky Schmuck on as my guest last week, and he was saying that to ship within the States costs about $10 to ship live fish, which is crazy to me, because to ship within Canada, even from one province over to me, so I live in British Columbia, so if I get something from Alberta, which is like from Idaho over to Washington, that's $100. If I want one guppy, that's $100 minimum. Now you can pack like bags of fish in there, but they have a flat rate of $100. So it's hard for me to pull a trigger on getting something crazy like from Ontario if I have to pay this crazy shipping fee on top of getting these expensive plecos. So for me, the idea of just driving down to Washington and picking something up is much more appealing. Freeman's Aquatic says, happy Ashley, loves the new edition, happy wife, happy everything. Yes, 100% agree. Aquafunk, thank you very much. I appreciate you stopping in. Look for an email from me. I will be approaching you with an idea, and I hope you like it. Okay. So we're gonna do the normal 1 hour thing here today. So we have got about 15 minutes left. And my Pleco says it's $100 to ship to Canada from the States. So you actually can ship from Canada to the States? Because I thought before you couldn't ship from Canada to the States. So you actually can do it, you just have to pay $100. That's also $100 American, so that's like $1 million Canadian. Damien says, I'm in the plant stage and keep escaping my quarantine tank. Difficult to buy fish. Yeah, that's... I like aquascaping too. My wife is obsessed with aquascaping, so I did this tank, which is pretty simple, but she does the more like, she made the tree though, and then like she's made like a Sawasser tank bonsai tree upstairs, and she's really into it like that. This one here also, it's hard for her, even on the step ladder, she can't reach the bottom, she's got the tweezers and stuff, but it's kind of a challenge for her. So far, I may be doing more of the work on this tank, which is fine. But it's more fun. Our hobby is more fun if if you have a wife and she's into it as well, and even more fun if your kids are into it, if you have kids and they're into it too. Okay. Terry says that buying fish from the U.S. isn't a problem unless the folks at the border feel that you're importing them for resale. Which I can see that, yeah. I've only done it the one time and I had no problem. I had all these, like, I was from Aquarium Co-op, they wrote like the scientific names of like all the fish and plants that I was buying and all that. And I went to the border and they said, what do you have? Fish, what kind? And I started listing. He's like, no, freshwater or saltwater? Freshwater. Okay, go. That was it. Simple as that. Yeah, Bob's saying that you could ship stuff. It's just stupid expensive. And I'd rather have the experience. If I'm gonna drive, Bob, I'd rather like drive down and pick something up and maybe check out your fish room one day and do a little tour or something like that. That would be sweet. Terry says plants are more of a no-no in Canada. Freeman's Aquatics, which I remember your wife's name is Ashley as well. My wife, the other Ashley, hated the 40. I did, but loves it now. It was rough waters. I won't accept another stupid surprise tank. Yeah, I won't do that again either. I've done it once, and I learned my lesson. See, my friend Mike, who had his 45-gallon bow front, his wife came home, and him and I were setting it up, but his wife is my wife's best friend, and my wife, Ashley, told my friend Mike, it's easier to beg forgiveness and ask permission, and talked him into buying it. So I felt, hey, I could do the same thing when I get this. But it didn't exactly go that way, but you know what? It's all good now, so it's good. Sean, I know you love aquascaping, man. It is, the proof's in the pudding. You've got beautiful tanks, my friend. Real thing for you, fish tanks. Hello, how are you doing today? Freeman's Aquatics. Mine's not. She loves me and tolerates my tanks. My wife hates it. She only likes to catch shrimp. My kids love it though. That's awesome. Terry says, let's get Ben on the stream and ask him what he has for dreams. Okay, yeah, I can see. We could grab Ben. My hot blood goes, cheers. Okay, I'm going to quickly run out and see if Ben wants to go on the stream. Hey, Ben. Ben? Do you want to go on tell people what you want to do and what kind of fish tank you want to get? What kind of fish you want to put in it?
I want to get a 55.
Ben wants to get a 55. And what do you want to put in it?
I don't really know yet.
Don't know yet? What other plecos do you want to get? Like a zebra, a leopard frog, a green phantom.
Maybe a blue phantom.
Another blue phantom? For this tank? Or for your 55?
55.
For your 55?
Well, the zebra's out.
Oh yeah, the L129 is actually, I'm going to zoom this thing in because you don't see it that often. Let's get in here and see if we can see it. Well, that's a pretty... Can you see it? Not sure if you can. Hopefully you can, but those guys are pretty cool. But they only get to like 2.5, 3 inches big. Oh, there's a gold nugget right back there. I don't know if you can see that either.
There it is.
That's one of our new additions. A couple of super reds chowing on some cucumber.
There's a gold nugget right there. You can see it.
Oh yeah, there's a gold nugget right there. I don't know if you can see it on there because how I'm holding the camera. But yeah. What's that, Ben? There's some mollies in there. There's the archers. Those are the archers from the co-op. And okay, we'll hop back over. I don't see any other plecos out right now, but that's kind of cool that we saw a few of them here. Oh, there's some clown loaches hanging out in the pleco cave right now.
We see some tigers up there early on the wood.
Oh, you see a king tiger, but barely? Okay.
Let's see the blue phantom.
You see the blue phantom?
Yeah,
Where's he?
right through there.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna be hard to see.
He's dark.
Okay, let's hop back in here. And Terry would like to clarify he's had as many as 15 tanks going on. That's awesome, Terry. Okay, real thing for you. He's doing well. A betta sorority, that would be pretty cool. Actually, he's really into bettas right now. He was into them when he first got into fish, and then he got away from them. He was in the Pistogramis for quite a bit, but now he's back into the bettas. So maybe he would do that. He has mentioned that we should do that in our 29 gallon. Wisconsin Living, hello, thank you for stopping in. I appreciate that. How are you today? Good night, Trevor. Thanks for coming in, man. Real thing for you, Fish Tanks has to go to a meeting. Well, I appreciate you stopping in. Thanks very much. Freeman Aquatics has to go. Revisit this tomorrow and with the other Ashley. See if I can get another laugh out of her, but it was too funny. You could have a whole stream over the hobby and the wife. Oh well. Terry's asking Big Steen if you're ever going to sell some of your rare fish, like your shell dwellers. We don't see those type of fish in Vancouver. No, we do not. Somebody asked me on last week's stream about shell dwellers. Where's a good place to get them? And I have never seen them in person. So I do not know. Good night, Joe. Thanks for stopping in, man. Yeah, Cameron, learning to keep fish, or learning to fish keep. I always say learning to keep fish. I apologize. It's learning to fish keep. That's Cameron's channel. It has been a busy stream tonight. I'm sorry, everyone, that I've kind of lost track of where the chat's going on right now. Steamfot sells shell dwellers all day, really, because he's got too many. That's pretty cool. Shell dwellers. I wonder if I could. No, I probably couldn't put those with. There was a video. Aquarium Co-op just had a video on shell dwellers, like a. I think it was the top 5 10-gallon tank ideas or top 10 tank ideas or something, and that was one. Saying how people start with them, get away from them, and go back to them because they like the personality and they don't like them because they don't have color. But they're not available here. Like I said, I've never seen them in person before. No, learning to fish keep. You should not change your name. I just need to get your name right. That's all. Terry's back on the easy green alone. Will only have moderate success. You need more light over that tank. I'd say something in the neighborhood of 3 LED light strips. Well, I'm gonna get 2 3-footers. Actually, I just had this extra 4-foot LED light, which is why I have why I have that on here right now. But it's a process. It's a process. I use like side money and selling things to support my fish hobby. So when you go out and you buy fancy plecos and $220 fish, 220-gallon fish tanks, it kind of tends to drain the fish account quickly. So we'll get there with the lights, but that's another reason why I'm just doing like Crenum, Jungle Val, Java Moss in this tank. They're easy to grow plants. Okay. Freeman's Aquatics, if he could suggest a guppy tank for my son's tank, lots of color possibilities. They swim around and you can try out the Lava DIY. That'd be a fun project with the boy. Good night. Yeah. We did have, we were breeding guppies for a while when we started. That's how I started when I was a kid. I used to breed guppies for money. I started when I was, guppies for profit. I started when I was 13 doing that. So that's what I did, how I first got into the hobby. And then when my son wanted to get back into it a few years ago, well, we started with the betta and then it grew and we did guppies right away. And then we just kind of have evolved from there. I'm not really into the live bear thing right now. I just kind of wanted to do, I kind of went from there into shrimp and then started breeding that, and then into trying to breed some more difficult things just for something different. Not even super difficult, like bristlenose and opisthogrammes and angelfish, and just some things that aren't as common to breed for everyday people. I know a lot of you folks out there have lots of experience breeding things like that, but you know, just kind of change it up a bit. Okay, here we go. Terry says, Steamfod is a true hobbyist and so well-rounded in his interests. Kudos to you. Melvins, how are you doing? Learning to fish keep? Good, thanks Terry. Some people don't realize I'm a hobbyist. I don't know how they would not realize that, Bob. You're one of my favorite channels to watch. I don't know how they would not realize that. People have been asking me what I'm going to sell at the aquatic experience. I have to remind them I'm not a business. But I believe you did mention you are going to get shirts again, and if you are going to sell shirts again, I would like to be notified. Cameron says you should try breeding your tiger barbs. I'd never seen that done before. I've done a little research on breeding tiger barbs. It's kind of some work. I really would have to dedicate a tank to that, and I'm not sure that I have got an extra tank just to do that. And they're not the most expensive fish to buy anyway, which means it's a lot of work to breed them, and then if I sell them, I'm not going to be getting a lot for them. So I'm kind of steering more into the pleco, opistogramma kind of area, because if I'm going to dedicate money into like tanks just to breed, then just to kind of recoup some of that will be easier with something like that. But I do love tiger barbs. That's what I decided to do for schooling fishing here. I am going to add to this school instead of doing a bunch of like nano tetras, which I do love, but I have a tank upstairs which is just neon tetras, and that's a pretty cool tank. That's my nano tank. Bob, you got me. I'll be selling shirts again. Right on, man. On the other hand, electric blue jack tank. That would be fun breeding project. If your wife with a son get the big tank, last one. Good night. Take care. Well, we do have a pair of rams that hopefully will breed, and right now they're just in a 29 gallon. But if I move them into the 90 gallon, I will get a few more. Not too many more, but a few more. Hey, Ashley.
Hello.
She's not interested in being on the stream tonight. Okay, here we go. Bob says, maybe one day I will be a business, but I am apprehensive about that. I don't want it to ruin my hobby. I totally get that, Bob. Sometimes I feel that like making the YouTube videos, I just want to sit and enjoy my fish tank. Bob, you can sell pie, yeah. Just let everyone send you pies and then sell them. Yeah, just put your Steamfod Aquatic stamp on it. Sean, I know you said you were not into guppies, but I heard that purple Moscow are expensive and sellable. What do you think about them as a breeding project? They are. The purple Moscows are pretty cool. The last time I actually had a guppy tank here, I unfortunately got a case of dropsy in the tank, and it wiped out 3/4 of my population. It was the blue tuxedo guppies, which sucked because they wiped out 3/4 of them, and after that I was like, this is kind of it was terrible, heartbreaking, but it was a good opportunity to change it up and get something else. And legend has it that they go for $40 a fish. Actually, I've seen them go for $150 for a trio. But Terry Lindsay bought at one of the fish auctions we went to. He bought a trio. He got a pretty good deal on it. He didn't pay $40 a guppy, and I think they were the purple Moscow. They might have been the blue Moscow. I can't remember. Well, we have just hit our 1 hour mark, and I think we're going to wrap it up for tonight. But I would just like to say thank you very much for everyone for another great stream here on Wednesday night. Next Wednesday we may change up the time a little bit. I'm not quite sure, but I would just like to thank everybody for stopping. Oh, I gotta stop for a second. We gotta say hi to Tom, TM Aquatics. Tom, we've been talking plecos a lot tonight. Tom, TM Aquatics, check out his channel. If you like plecos, you will definitely love TM Aquatics. But anyway, I'm just gonna sign off. Thanks again, everybody. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for all the chatter. I had a great time. I hope everyone else had a great time. And I will see you throughout the week while I join some of my favorite YouTubers' streams. And I will see you next Wednesday for another one of my streams on Friday Fish Facts. Thanks again and good night, everybody.